Hey, folks, welcome back to LettermenRow.com. I am Jeremy Birmingham. This is Bermanology. We are whipping around the country talking to Ohio State targets and prospects in all of the recruiting classes. Today, we're talking to 2023 standout wide receiver Carnell Tate from the IMG Academy by way of Chicago, Illinois, where he is now on break. Carnell, thanks for taking time, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
No problem at all. Look, I'm going to ask you straight away. You got the Ohio State offer about a month ago. And everyone knew when they offered that was the dream school, right? But in the recruiting world, man, we hear that term dream school all the time.
Yeah.
It oftentimes means nothing. What does it really mean to you to get that offer from Ohio State?
Oh, it meant a lot. Like right now, I'm like, if you were to go ask all my friends and family members, they can tell you that I've been waiting on Ohio State. Like that's the school I always talked about and I always dreamed about going to. I always grew up watching Ezekiel Elliott and Mike Thomas.
And as a kid in Chicago, people link you automatically to Notre Dame, I think, because that's where Chicago is. Was it a surprise to you when Ohio State offered when they did? I mean, or were you sort of like, hey, what's taking them so long?
I was sort of kind of like, hey, what's taking them so long? Because like with the recruiting, I always knew I expected my recruitment to blow up. So it was like, but then when it finally touched down, it meant a lot to me.
You know, Carnell, what was the decision for you as a kid, again, in the Midwest, to make that decision to go down to the IMG Academy? How hard was that? And what ultimately pushed you to decide that was the right thing for you?
Oh, it was hard, but kind of easy. Like the easy part was about going because of like the COVID situation in Illinois. And then our governor had like pushed back football. And then he didn't say that we were guaranteed to have a spring season. So like, I was just gonna end up leaving because we weren't guaranteed a spring season, but it was also hard leaving back my family and friends and all of my the deep connections that Marist had.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. Illinois is one of the few states in the country that didn't play any football this past year until very recently. Some parts of the state have started to play a little bit. But what was the biggest adjustment for you heading down to IMG and coming from Chicago? I mean, what was the one thing that you're like, wow, this is way different than I thought it was going to be?
I think probably like living on your own, you gotta manage your own body. So like like you gotta like maintain like what you put in and what comes out your body. And it's just like being an adult, growing up on you just living on your own.
Were you ready for that?
Yeah, I'll say I was ready for it because now back at home, like when I was in marriage, I like kind of like lived on my own. Like, but my family's in the house, but it's like going to school, like I would wake up. There was a time I woke up at 4 a.m. to get on the bus to go to a 5:45 morning workouts by myself. It was like Marist is an hour and a half away from me. So like it was time I had to get up before my mom and dad to leave out the house.
Do you think that, being a kid that's willing to make those sacrifices, do you think that that's a part of the reason why college coaches have drawn to you the way they have, because they see someone who's, I don't know, taking responsibility for your own future?
Yeah, like me, I always live by the motto, you can't be normal and expect abnormal results. So like you can't just like be basic and then expect your results to be out the roof. So like you got to put in more than what you want.
Yeah, that is a very unique perspective. I don't think a lot of kids have that. When you talk to Ohio State, I mean, again, you're a 2023 prospect, and so there are these weird contact rules that you have to deal with, and that they're not allowed to call you directly. And there's all these weird little loopholes that you can exploit to talk to people as much as you want, but you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
How has that hampered the relationship building with Ohio State, and how do you and Brian Hartline, you and Keenan Bailey, you and Ryan Day, how do you guys get along?
Oh, we get along a lot. Like I'm building great relationships with Coach Bailey and Coach Hartline, and I talked to Coach Ryan a few times, and I'll say it's going good. Like I'll call him like three, 4 times a week. I almost talk to Coach Bailey almost every day of the day. And then with Coach Bailey, I send him my workout videos of what I'm doing now, like working on stopping and getting in and out of my routes and releases. And I call him, he like, oh, you can do this. He can tell me what I do wrong or what I did good. And he tells me what I need to improve on.
How happy are you that June is almost here? I mean, this last year, again, from a kid from Chicago who was forced to move, 1,000, 1,200, however far Chicago to Florida is. I'm not great with geography. However far, like, I mean, this last year, you've made a ton of choices to put yourself in this position to make these visits in June. How important is June for you?
June's very important. It's very important to see campus because June 1st I will be taking my first visit to Northwestern, but that'll be like my first ever college visit. Like I never during my recruitment, like freshman year, I'd never been on a college visit, so it means a lot to me to go out there and look at the schools for the first time.
Do you have an idea of exactly how many schools you're seeing in June?
From somewhere from like 6 to 8 schools.
So you got Northwestern, you got Notre Dame at some point, you got Ohio State. What is the thing, or two things, or or 10 things, whatever, man? You're the boss here. What are the things that you feel like, hey, I have to see this at Ohio State. I have to learn this about Ohio State.
It's also like it's mainly like talking with the coaching staff, honestly, and then like seeing like the athletic facilities. And I also want to see the talent that's around the school. So like I know what I'm doing on the weekends and on my free time. I know what I'm getting myself into. But I also have family in Columbus, so like I can just go there anytime I want.
How much are those family members pushing you for, hey, now that you have this opportunity with Ohio State? I mean, is there a family push to bring you back to Central Ohio?
Oh yeah, always. Like before I even got into like the recruitment part, they were like always saying like if you get Ohio State offer, like you have to go there. Like we'll be at every one of your games because Ohio's only a 4 or 5 hour drive from me. So like
So
it means a lot.
when you get it's the dream offer, but now it's a real possibility. How hard was it to not commit right away?
Oh, I had to talk to my dad about it like all a lot. He said like we just gonna wait it out, see like what other options there are. And then he
Let's
said we got to get every school a chance, and like Ohio State may not be the spot for you, so we're just like taking it slow.
What are the things that a school is going to need to have that to make you and your father and your entire family feel like it is the right spot for you? What is one or two things that a school must take care of for you?
Also, relationship with the coaching staff and then production. Like obviously, if you produce receivers and get them to the next level, like you have my eyes right there.
Let's say there's no football, Carnell. What do you want to do with life? When the game is over, one way or another.
Oh, my original goal was to be like a mechanical engineer, but like I've also taken on the road like getting more into like business, finance, and stocks. So yeah.
Do you have like a business plan all set up? You got what type of business you want to run? You looking to run a Fortune 500 company, or like open a donut shop, or what?
I mean, whatever makes money, honestly, like that's how it is nowadays. Like whatever makes big money, my ears are open for it.
Are you hopping on the crypto thing? Are you,
Uh, yeah,
on the,
my aunt does that, so it's like she's slowly teaching me how to do it and stuff.
that's going to change the world, man, one way or another.
Oh yeah.
How do you see your recruitment going from here, Carnell? I mean, you're going to make these visits in June, and you're going to head back to Florida, go to the IMG Academy for your junior year. Get a long time to go before you have to make any sort of college decision. But, if you could just write out a roadmap of how you want this to go, what would you see in your future?
So right, like in my future, like we take all my visits to schools, and then I don't know, like if me and my family like decide it's best for me to commit this summer, then there could be a commitment this summer after all my visits, or we're just gonna wait until after I play my junior season, and then commit later, like in around like November or December.
What makes the offer from Ohio State unique to you in your mind? What makes the Buckeyes a unique program?
Zone 6, obviously, they put receivers in the league that they compete at the highest level day in and day out.
It's fascinating. I mean, as a receiver, do you watch, because you're looking, as you said, production, but you're talking about getting to the NFL, not
Yes.
necessarily how many catches you get in college, right? I mean, there's a
Yes.
difference between those two levels of production. How does that presented on the recruiting trail? Because Ohio State's going to tell you, hey, we have Terry McLaurin. He had
Yeah.
35 catches in his most productive season at Ohio State, but it's a second round pick, and now maybe one of the 3 or 4 best receivers in the NFL. How do they tell you that they can get you there?
They told me that like the receiver room, like everyone's like top talent. So like you're working you're working out constantly. They're pushing you to the limit. They also say like that once you come here, you'll be a better receiver all around. Like we make sure our guys can play anything outside and in the slot. And he said they're gonna work my mechanics and make sure I can do it all.
During your June visit, are you intending to work out with Coach Hartline and try to figure out, to gain some of that insight during that trip?
Oh yeah, one of my visits, yeah, we're planning to work out one visit.
What is the, difference, I guess, from what the recruiting process has been versus what you thought it would be? Has there been anything that you're like, wow, I did not expect this, or, that's cooler than I thought it would be?
I didn't expect it like to have this like stay constant contact with all of the coaches right now because I'm a sophomore. So it's like it takes a toll on you like having to like call the coaches to keep the relationship going. So yeah, that's a lot. And then you also have school, so they just can't like text you, and then but you just have to like call them. Then sometimes they may not answer. So yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a journey.
What's the best advice you've been given about handling the recruiting process? I mean, what is the one or two nuggets that you're like, okay, someone said this, and so it's helped me a lot.
They always say enjoy recruitment right now. Like they say you're only recruited one time, so just enjoy it now.
Well, you got a lot. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's the thing. It is a blessing, and certainly can at times feel like a curse, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
But you got a lot of work ahead of you and a busy June. And I told you I'd try to keep you here to a relatively brief call, and I can chat away for as long as I could, but I will let you get out of here and enjoy your weekend. That is Carnell Tate. I am Jeremy Birmingham. This has been Bermanology on Lettermen Row. He is a highly ranked 2023 wide receiver from Chicago who plays at the IMG Academy. I'm just the guy talking to him. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Anytime.